I think we should begin the conversation on Z6 III. Simply because there are rumors that it's going to be delayed or that it's not going to come this year. And I want it to come this year. I want to build huge pressure, immense pressure. I want it to be a PR debacle if the Z6 III this year doesn't come out this year. Look, we absolutely need the Z6 III soon. Before I talk any further, I am here on this it's a place called McLeodganj in the state of Himachal Pradesh in Dharamshala, 7,500 feet above the sea level, I think, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so I've been thinking about the Z6 III because it is such an important camera. I did a poll and where I realized that at that time there was a lot of rumor and conversation on the Z8. But despite that, more than 40% people actually talked about wanting the Z6 III, and only some 41-42% people talked about the Z8, which tells me about the popularity of that model. I think, to be honest, I think more than 50% of all Nikon full frame users are going to be interested in the Z6 line 1, 2, 3. Now I am walking uphill and at a very steep angle. So if I stay here for 5 days, which is the plan, I think I'm going to get leaner, which is the plan. Now, let me stand here because the light is good here. Z6 III is important. I think the Z6 III is important for most people. Can you guess what lens this is? This is the lens I used. This is the Sony A7 IV, and this is also the lens that I used on the Z30, and you guys could not guess what lens it is. What should that camera be? Well, I think I'm going to make a controversial point here. I think the central theme of the camera of the Z6 III has to be how to make it a better video camera. It should be a video first camera because you know what? If you got a good sensor, you don't have to innovate or think about what to do when it comes to photo. Nikon has figured that out. I don't think you need more on that. The whole point of having a better sensor on the Z6 III is about having a faster sensor. Faster than the Sony A7 IV sensor maybe. And if you have that, you're going to have a better camera. With a shutter, with a mechanical shutter, you don't have much problem with the existing Z cameras when it comes to photography, except I think autofocus. But where they lack is video, and that's where Nikon really needs to get it right. Okay, now what I have with me right now is a Fuji X-T5 with the 33 1.4 amazing lens, and I want to show you what I just saw. I saw that reflection on that tiny little car, okay, and I'm going to show you how it looks on the camera, as in how it looks when I've taken a picture of the Fuji 33 1.4. It's an amazing lens. I love it. Let me tell you, the center, the heart of the camera has to video. But what kind of video, right? The heart of the camera has to be video in a very different way. Let's imagine the Z6 III almost as something that competes with the new ZV-E1 camera. Okay, the full frame child of the A7S III. That camera. Imagine casual filmmaking capabilities like that, and then that should be the heart of the camera. Okay, and so everything else that you talk about in that should be peripheral. I mean, they're important. Peripheral doesn't mean they're not important. They are maybe secondary because you've already figured it out when it comes to photo, right? So with the mechanical shutter and a much better autofocus, I don't think there's any challenge left. Challenge is about getting the video features right, honestly. And the challenge is about hitting the right price point of about 2,500 US dollars. When it comes to photo, what I'm expecting is uh, the limit, pushing the limits and the boundaries of burst shooting with autofocus and auto exposure, right? Because not XT, the XH2S with 40 frames per second, and the Canon R6 Mark II, and also the recent crop sensor camera like the R10 and the R7. Look, they have shown the way as to where the industry is going, because a lot of those cameras can be used as sports cameras. I mean, to a great extent. And they're not as reliable as the flagships from Sony, Nikon, and Canon, but they're great, right? They're really good. And I think that is the other frontier. So imagine the Sony ZV-E1 as the central focus. All those features, okay? Power zooming in, easy. Imagine how content creators make videos, to zoom in, to zoom out, to follow someone, intelligent focusing on video, um, uh, even better and smooth stabilization. Stabilization is very critically important. I think gimbals are going to be very soon thing of the past when it comes to run and gun videography. Okay, and so that's the center. And the other thing that you should bring in is fast burst shooting, so that you can use that camera with the long lens like a 200 or 600 and do credible sports and wildlife shooting. I think those are the two central um, points, two central things about the Z6 III. If Nikon gets these two things right, I'm telling you, don't listen to anyone else. Don't listen to anyone else. If gets these Nikon get these two things right, that camera is a booming, roaring success. It's going to break the industry, because what else do you have? You have fantastic glass in Nikon. Allow people to use all of that. Give them a camera within 2,000 to 2,500 US dollars. Okay, that's what I think. I'm going to show you what this scene looks like, and let me try and take a few pictures, and let's see. I mean, there are not many people on the road really. There's a Domino's thing here, there's this subway down there, and this is Chai Sutta bar. Chai Sutta means tea and cigarettes bar. This is a tea and cigarettes bar. Cool. Let me take a few pictures.